I'd like to hear just about your overall philosophy regarding antitrust enforcement.
As I mentioned, I will apply the law to the facts. That means judicially weighing the facts, consulting with the career staff, developing the legal theories, and then using my own judgment to come to the best solution to the problem. Antitrust is a very blunt instrument. It can do a lot of damage as well as a lot of good. But I think that if I'm confirmed, I will be very cautious. It's humbling. The wrong decision can hurt American lives. The right decisions protect competition. And I will take the decisions that I'm presented with the greatest care, recognizing their tremendous significance.
Is bigness disfavored or presumptively suspect under antitrust law?
Absolutely not. Bigness in and of itself is not necessarily indicative of any antitrust harm. In fact, bigness often provides efficiencies that are valuable to the American people.
Now, there are those who are skeptics of our antitrust laws who like to say, I believe in the free market. I want the free market to take care of this. Government shouldn't intervene in antitrust law. What's your best response to that?
I would say they're right. Free markets generally have the answer. As I mentioned in my opening remarks, what has been so wonderful about American antitrust enforcement is that it has recognized, it has unleashed competition. It has recognized that markets can adjust. Often antitrust settlements cannot. And therefore, for government to introduce into the economy its own vision of what is the right outcome is very dangerous. The amazing economy we've had for 250 years, is because we allowed free markets to do their work.
Right. So, taken to its logical conclusion, one could take that and say, okay, then let's not enforce our antitrust laws, or let's enforce them with rarity and with extremely narrow, careful stripes, or not at all. What's your response to that?
Well, I would be on the let's do so, but the evidence must be strong. As I said, it's a blunt instrument; it can do harm. But when the evidence is there, I just enforce the law if I'm so confirmed. It's not my job to make it; it's there, and the law will be enforced. And as I mentioned earlier, protecting competition, ensuring that our market structures maximize social welfare is the goal of antitrust.
Okay. So if bigness isn't the triggering issue, what is? What is the central touchstone, insofar as you can boil it down to one standard that applies more or less in different antitrust contexts?
The only coherent standard that ensures that in any antitrust decision you're benefiting all Americans is the consumer welfare standard. Okay. Because that is the only one that ensures that there's more stuff, more outcome, more utility rather than less. So that is the touchstone. It doesn't mean that there's certain circumstances that we can have an expanded, or not expanded, but a view that does not just focus on price, but that is the only coherent way to look at antitrust law.
Because consumer welfare doesn't exclude other considerations beside price, correct?
Absolutely not. It can include things such as privacy, or I would say when constitutional rights are at issue, like free speech.
To what extent and what ways do you think state attorney generals should play a role in antitrust enforcement?
If confirmed, I hope to work with state attorney generals to have a coherent and consistent antitrust enforcement.
Are you aware of any other country, or at least any other peer or near-peer nation, any other developed nation that has antitrust laws, competition laws, if you want to define it more broadly, that has two antitrust enforcement agencies that are not connected to each other?
To be honest, I'm not an expert on comparative antitrust institutions.
Neither am I, and I'm not fishing for any particular answer.
But to be honest, Senator, I just don't know.
All right, I'm out of time, but these are things that need to be considered, including what happens when we end up with a two popes problem. If you try having two popes at one time, it doesn't work. If we had two presidents of the United States serving simultaneously, that would cause other problems. I think one day Congress needs to grapple with this and figure out whether it makes any sense to have these twin, siloed, parallel universe antitrust enforcement agencies that often determine jurisdictional battles by a coin toss. Thank you.